Hey everyone, welcome to the inevitable video. I am reacting to my very first YouTube video. Well, to be fair, it's not my very first one, but a bit of trivia before we get things started. This video has been my very first intentional YouTube video. I had a couple of success videos beforehand, but they are actually down because of copyright issues. I'm gonna explain a bit more about that in the middle of the video. But if you hear me refer to a Facebook group, a certain Facebook group, that is the original Planko group on Facebook, basically where the first contact between me and, well, Planet Coaster and the community managers has been done. So yeah, I'm gonna talk a bit more about that during the video, but let's get the reaction started. I have to survive this, I guess, but let's get things started.
Hello and welcome to my very first time-lapse video of Space Mountain, and also to my very first YouTube video, which I do a commentary on. So please forgive me for any mistakes and for all the unprofessional aspects of this recording. I know sound quality isn't the best. I know my English isn't the best. Forgive me, I'm German, so I think.
See, the first thing is apology. That's what me is doing, what I'm doing, what Germany is doing, what a German is doing. But oh boy, the sound quality. Gosh, I remember this been a very cheap 10 euros microphone thingy from the brand Hama. For who knows that, I don't know. Horrible, but yeah, there's a reason to why that. But also, if you see the build, we need to talk about the building in a bit, because you will notice something that I guess 95% of you guys will not know about the Planet games. So yeah, let's keep on watching.
Having the best English out there. But as many people from the Facebook group have requested this video, and I guess not all people do understand German, I've decided to do it in English. And yeah, anyway, I'm not feeling too comfortable with doing this now.
I'm still not,
but yeah,
so I'm still not.
I'll be trying it out. I'll be popping it out to the public. There's no problem with this. So let's see what it will be in the end. Yeah, originally I planned to.
I also hope that you guys can understand this. The audio audio leveling is still crap. I mean, till this day, it's very hard on YouTube to get this right at certain times. But I must hint you guys at a couple of things. You will notice to the bottom left of the screen, there is Dustin's Coaster Park mentioned, which is the name of my brother. And the reason for that is me and my brother, we got Planet Coaster at the beginning together, because it was in the alpha. It was quite expensive, to be honest, for an alpha. And so we got it together, and only later I got it myself, so that was fun. And also he was the one posting some images of me in that very Facebook group I'm talking about. And the Facebook group people were asking me, were asking me to actually put out a video about the Space Mountain I built. And luckily, back in the day, I already recorded stuff because I had a kink myself, okay? I loved looking at things in a speed build later on. I had this with a lot of other things, Minecraft and stuff, that never saw the light of day, but that was very fun. But also looking at the pain building without a gizmo and without snapping and like rotation that we have nowadays, and without a piece like rotation piece or something, that has been horrendous. That was the most fiddly thing out there, but let's keep on watching a little.
Without any commentary, but watching it here, I figure out it's kind of boring. Just with the music, 11 minutes, just watching the time lapse is kind of boring. So I thought, yeah, maybe try it. Just speak.
I still do soundboard as well,
which isn't the best. Yeah, I know. As I already said, yeah. So this is the first time lapse. As you can see, nothing special going around in the background. I'm just setting up the basic layout of the dome, and then just putting some supports to the sides of.
So here you can see, I just want to pause this here, right? It's not really about me, but it's about the building itself. Have you seen how I tried to move the piece up and down, because there was no way to do that in steps or so? You just held down shift, and then you needed to try to figure out to bring it down, but there was auto snapping that you couldn't really deactivate, and so it was always snapping to a certain height of the piece. And yeah, also the rotation, you needed to figure out the rotation alongside the walls, and oh god, it was such a pain. Anyways, let's skip forward a little to see what else is in here, because my talking is not gonna get better, I tell you. If you want to see the whole video, just go to my channel and check out the full video. You can see, I mean, you can see the naming down there. But in a couple minutes, I'm gonna talk about what my actual first video was. So, but first of all, let's keep going here.
I've decided to take the wooden parts for the most part of this building, because in the real Space Mountain, Paris, there is I guess it's metal, like metal patterns, also going from left to right. Not sure about that, but I thought the wooden patterns here came very close to what it is in the original version. Unfortunately,
I must admit, though, that the choice of words of my English back then wasn't really that bad. It's just super slow. You can really tell how I was processing in my brain what I wanted to say back then. Obviously, it's not been natural at all. That was one of my first recordings. And bit of background here. Recording this at the day was hilariously hard for me. I had tears in my eyes every single time I heard my own voice. I'm very glad nowadays that I can see stuff from myself, like it doesn't actually bother me anymore. So that is pretty good. But I remember back then, every single word was so hard because I knew I had to listen to it again to make that video. And and that was the hardest feeling. A couple of other things I noticed while watching. Down here to the right, you can't really see because there's the UI of YouTube, but down there is like the Fraps. I used the free version of Fraps to record that. That was also hilarious. And another thing I was going to point out here is that the whole build is done in the alpha version of Planet Coaster, where FlexiColor didn't exist. Like in the beginning of Planet Coaster, the pieces did not have the option to be changed in their color. That was also a thing that, I don't know if they planned this from the beginning, but definitely something that the community was requesting ever since that first thing. So if you know, I have done a second recreation of this very Space Mountain, which is a lot better. And back in the day, I even needed to search for pieces that could resemble the very piece of the real one. So recreations weren't really that easy because you didn't literally have the chance to recolor things accordingly. But yeah, you can see this crossover here. Oh my god, that was such a pain. Looking at that is such a pain, because I remember putting how did I even have the patience? I mean, people nowadays question how I have the patience, but that is a different level of patience, I tell ya.
Actually, there's no possibility to change the color of them, so yeah, I just choose to take the wooden one. I will do some.
Oh god, the old coaster builder, guys.
Like
this
is one, like some decoration in the end, but
this, my friends, is the alpha coaster builder of Planet Coaster. It looks totally different today. It looks the exact same way as the ride builder in Planet Zoo, for those of you who watch Planet Zoo. But looking at this is funny because you couldn't even, like in the very alpha, you can see it's the build 0.131 blah blah blah. You didn't even have coasters. You needed to put in a cheat code to access this very coaster.
So yeah,
so
after
that is that.
Done the basic tube, I wanted to figure out how it will be work with boost. Not knowing at this stage that the boost isn't working in this alpha build, so
yeah, another thing, obviously the boost I was trying to have like from the actual coaster wasn't working. Let's skip forward a little because the real pain is almost gonna start a little later. Let's go first of all over here. This is a fun part too.
Bluish metal bars here, and assembled them in a triangle.
So you can see how little pieces we had.
Like bigger blue
ridiculous.
At the end. It worked out pretty well, but to be honest, I hope that we will have in future builds the possibility to maybe scale some things, or maybe have some elements which can be dragged in every direction, like in every shape and so on, because this was really frustrating here, trying around with all these bigger assets here. And
it hurts
kind of
watching,
good
guys.
In the end, but honestly, I don't know how many elements are already in this here just for the roof.
So, yeah, sure. Have you heard that? Let's skip for a couple of seconds. Yeah, let's listen again.
In this here just for the roof, and
oh no,
as in the end, but honestly, I don't know how many elements are already in this here just for the roof. And
This, my friends, 5 minutes 26 to 5 minutes 28 are the defining words of the Future of the Planet series. I don't know how many pieces already went in to make it look like the way it looks. Holy moly. I already back then knew that this is going to be the only way to do that is using a lot of pieces. And here we are, 7, 8 years later, still doing the exact same, using way too many pieces to achieve something that could have been done with a lot less pieces if the tools were available. Well, it's not, to be fair, it's not really, it's not a nice judgment because we have so many better tools nowadays and it's just my obsession with detail at some point. If you look at the background over here, I just keep this stop for a second. This is the very alpha park. There was literally just this one park with this tree in the center where everything was going around the tree with like all these lamps and stuff around the tree. There was like the big pirate ship and there was like another coaster test I did. Oh, good old days. Look, I even did some like stone kind of stuff over here, trying to do like a rotation trick thingy and make, I think this was the first idea to do the Rainforest Cafe from Disney. And then over here, I tried a bit of sculpting. Wow, that was a good time.
As I've already said on Facebook and here on YouTube, the performance and was really crap. I know, I think the game wasn't intended to pump in as much.
No, it wasn't.
As I did.
Was never.
To be honest, it really was like at the beginning here. You can see under recording. I went up to I guess I locked it at 30 FPS because in the beginning of Planet Coaster Alpha I had around 70-80 FPS. And yeah,
the good old
after
FPS issue in a Planet game.
Everything worked.
Oh boy.
18 FPS, I said. I think, and this is really well, yeah.
So now,
FPS, which is
now, guys,
this
is the next part of the building. Like, okay, me talking about the FPS shouldn't be too surprising. Nothing really changed till this day. But like in the alpha, it was like completely worse. Like, don't get me wrong, you build one building and everything was like broken. Frankly, they fixed all of that. But this was back in the day. Just a couple of info here about the Facebook group. So there was this huge theme park simulation fan group, which still exists in different ways. It just kind of, at some point broke down, drama here, drama there. And then there was a new group, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, like a whole bunch of people came together, including the community managers. I remember Dale Esmeralda back in the day. He was the one actually also contacting me about the Star Destroyer I built. This was the first building I actually uploaded to YouTube for Dale and Frontier, explaining them what I've done. But I needed to take that one down with the original one because of copyright stuff and so on. Got a couple of strikes, so it's gone. So it's also not private. I would love to show you, but it's actually gone. So that was the first one, which brought my YouTube channel to a start. So at this time, I already did a couple of videos, but I needed to delete them, so blah, blah. However, in the Facebook group, we were like, this was our life, okay? The alpha and Facebook group, that was the thing. Everyone was in that group, and we were talking about so many things, exchanging screenshots and stuff like that to really get into it. And I really hope Frontier is allowing to do something with Planet Coaster 2 or another Planet game again. Give us an alpha or way longer beta where we can so much discuss about this. So the next part of the video is gonna be called The Pain.
The only bigger building.
I tell you in a couple of seconds why.
I had some other buildings here, but not like putting in objects like I did here. So yeah,
I will skip forward to the pain part.
Going on with some explanations in the background.
There you go. So
yeah,
this is pain.
I started to think of the tube which will go up the hill. And just to be honest, but this is one point which is important for all the following episodes also. This is not a video where I've tested a lot of things before and then built the final one. It is really on the fly. In the video you will always see like I'm failing several times with several
still today.
buildings.
I'm still failing in videos today, so never
Also
mind.
This one
that
here.
never changed, Rudi.
Unfortunately, you will see now a little gap after doing this here because I don't know why. I just failed to stop or to start again recording, and so the whole.
Not sure if you're seeing what I'm seeing, guys, but this is the way back in the day how we were able to do different angles. We needed to take pieces, align them to other pieces, rotate them, align to another thing, and then keep adding pieces to this rotation, because literally that was the only rotation you were allowed at this point, and then you needed to merge other things in, and you can see how slightly offset this piece is already. Now keep watching for the next couple of minutes, and you will physically feel the pain we had to go through. And for everyone who joined later, already with the gizmo, with copy options, with copy X options, blah blah blah, there's like so many options that you have nowadays that we didn't at this point, and how much pain it was. So just have a look.
The old time where I really built these.
Well, I will drink something.
These parts for the tube are missing, unfortunately. Yeah, you can see, but you can see the basic idea how I did the tube. Yeah, it is kind of working out pretty well, but in the end, this might be also a factor for dropping FPS and stage performance, because
I'm quite frankly happy that nothing literally changed about this. Like, zero. 8 years in, still doing the same stupid mistakes. Kind of authentic, isn't it? So, look at that meme. That's not even actual anymore. Whatever. What is that kind of weird font I'm using? God. I think I remember this was called Bauhaus or something. You know, I like Bauhaus style, and I thought, you know, it's called Bauhaus, might be good. It's not Rudi. It's not Rudi. Rudi of the past, don't ever use that font again.
Okay. Because as you can see now, there is really a lot of parts and a lot of objects just for the tube going up the hill. I guess there are around 2,000 of these
it hurts.
Concrete bars just to make this looking like a tube, and really I guess the game was not intended to work with these elements like this, like all
the game surely wasn't intended to do that. At least I had a good idea about
all the people do, like Cucamonda and Silverette, and I hope I pronounced the guys correct.
Oh, see, that was like Cucamonda was someone. I'm not sure, like, Kuka, if you're watching, I don't know if you're still secretly watching. He was a genius in that alpha stage. He was actually bringing in a couple of techniques on his own. I remember he did this fantastic Colosseum build, and then he was doing some steampunk stuff in the alpha. That was mind blowing. And obviously Sylph, the man who was just doing insane Main Street builds out of a chimney or so. I really fun how I mispronounced his name back in the day, where Sylph was still a child. I think he was like 14, 15, 16, I don't know. But we were all so young. Oh my god.
All of them using so many different buildings going into each other to make a good looking building in the end. And
I didn't even flatten out the ground. Like, why didn't I even do this?
Will take all the parts and do it like this, but if they have planned so, it would be great if they can improve the performance in the end, like for example having some hiding elements, like if there is a wall which you can't see through, then maybe that all other elements behind the wall.
Look at that! It's like a little bumpy road.
Deactivated or something like this, because I guess this would give us a huge performance boost for all these great buildings that being made out there by the community. Really, this game, also to make a point there, it is absolutely amazing for an alpha. I mean, I've played a lot of AA plus titles which have been really worse than this one here. This is only an alpha, and this is really a great thing. Of course, there are some things which are still strange and which have to be improved, and there are so many possibilities in this game. And opportunities as well.
I had a
good, future
I had a good sense of what the future will bring. And I honestly, I still stick to that. The alpha was quite impressive, and you also have to remember that wasn't the day where we had Roller Coaster Tycoon World at the same time as a so-called competitor. We all know how that turned out, but yeah, I mean, that was an alpha which kind of came out of nowhere, to be honest. And I still am pretty dang impressed by how the game looks also nowadays. I have to say, though, this also reminds me of the fact that I have toned down the graphics quite a bit from the alpha to the full game, because this looks a lot closer to
really
Planet
good,
Zoo than the
editor
actual
for the
Planet Coaster
coaster,
does.
like colors
Which,
and columns,
yeah, they had to
styles,
save some performance,
and like
obviously.
support styles and all these stuff. But really, also in this early stage, and I know coasters aren't really in the alpha as well. It's just like a cheat activating to have coasters, but also they're working pretty well. And to be honest, they work better than they do in RCTW, sorry, German. In the early access of Roller Coaster of the
See, dare say
this
that
is-
Roller
this is,
Coaster Tycoon World.
great stuff here.
Comparing those.
Yeah, and
Little
for all the
did I
guys
know.
knowing the original Space Mountain and Disneyland, this isn't the layout. I know this is just some layout made by me, and this is also made just at this point here because afterwards, when fitting in the roof, I thought it might be a little bit better to have the final layout before. I'm not too happy with the layout, to be honest, afterwards, because it is kind of a good layout, but there are some parts in it where it isn't that.
Okay, Rudi, it's not a good layout, first of all. Second of all, it's complete disaster, even in if that alpha. There's no excuse around that. I know I have been learning coasters later on, right? But that over here, it's not even a coaster, okay? That's a jellyfish shaped like a coaster. That may be, but it's not a coaster. Not at all, okay? I will, for my past, Rudi, it's not a coaster.
Smooth as I wished it to be.
No,
but I
no
haven't
coaster.
spent too much time on the layout, to be fair. As we can see
Excuses.
here, this is also the end of the episode. And it's me again.
Oh gosh, what's that even? Okay, well, yeah, the recording kind of cut off, and then there's like a random screenshot over here with a 01 and a very, very old Rudi icon.
Yeah, this was the end of the first episode, and I thought I might just do a little ending take here because I just was interrupted and a little bit surprised by the end of this episode. And to be honest, I was also quite kind of happy with the recording before, so I thought I may save it just by doing such a kind of end screen here. And yeah, I hope you like it. And if you want to see how it will go on in the future, just subscribe and follow the stream.
Follow the stream.
Have a nice day then, and bye.
Yeah. This video has almost 10,000 views. And also, what is that description? Rudi again, first time lapse, lots of images, very fast, not dirty, sorry. It's kind of funny, isn't it? I wasn't that stupid back then. Want to see the final result before? Oh yeah, I did that later. Okay, I surely did that later. Oh no, wait again. I uploaded the final result beforehand because I did build that. We are not looking at that. You can do it yourself if you're interested. It's kind of okay, cool. It's kind of cool though. But just a couple final words, okay? Because it wasn't as bad as I was thinking it was. After the first shock, how my voice sounds and in that kind of potato microphone, I think it's quite okay, quite slow. To be honest, the pacing is not really that entertaining. So props to those 9,000 people who watched it. But back in the day, obviously, these amount of views were nuts, okay? I had like a couple hundred subscribers at most, if at all. And that was even before Gamescom. You know, at Gamescom, that was the huge push. And I was invited to Gamescom not because of this, but because of the Star Destroyer I built. And just as I promised, a couple of words about the Star Destroyer. I made this purely as a little test to what the game is capable of. And my brother took a screenshot of that because, as I said, we shared the game. So he had access to the same save file. And he was like putting that in the Facebook group and everyone was going nuts about that screenshot. And including Dale, who was community manager at Frontier at the day. And he contacted my brother thinking it was me. And then my brother just kind of connected him with me. And we exchanged words. And this is how I was actually invited then after all to the Gamescom, and they were asking me how I was doing certain things because they couldn't figure out how I was able to do that Star Destroyer in their game. And so I recorded a video explaining to them how I made the Star Destroyer. And this is the video that took off. That had like a couple, I think it was 15, 17,000 views. And my talk was addressing the video to Frontier. And I did upload this to YouTube because I had no other idea where to upload that. And I did upload this to this very channel because I didn't want to do it on my private channel. So a couple of very weird things falling into place there. And then that was my very first intentional YouTube video, even though I thought at this time it was just a little fun activity. Yeah, and here we are, like, I don't know, 8 years later, almost a decade later, and almost, actually 85,000 subscribers later. That is insanely crazy to watch. And you know what's even more crazy? I still remember exactly where I sat. I can literally envision the whole office where I was sitting when I was recording that. And I remember how upset and mad my wife was because she was watching a movie on the other room and she heard me talking. Good memories, good memories. I hope you guys enjoyed that little reaction. If you enjoy, I know you enjoy reactions more than I thought you'd do, but if you did, let me know what you think I should react to. Give me some ideas in the comments, and also let me know if you knew that video, and if not, are you going to watch it now? Can we get it over 10,000? We surely can. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one, and have a good time.